Okay, here today, just having a problem here with Haldex coupler 4 motion fault on a VW Crafter. To find out if your 4 motion is working, get a trolley jack on your, put a trolley jack on your front subframe there, jack up your front wheels, and get someone to jump in the car and drive it, and watch your prop shaft. Go there, Adam. Right, mate. As you can see, the prop shaft's just spinning. It's like the diff is collapsed and piled up. Your back wheels are getting no drive. When your front wheels started spinning and turning there, the vehicle should detect that your front wheels are slipping, send a signal down here to that pump on the side, which should come in, push the fluid in to get into your place again, your Haldex coupler, and lock your back axle into 4 motion. Fault code we're getting U011400, lost communication with 4-wheel drive control module. Also a few other brake faults there as well. So I had another Crafter 4 motion in the workshop. I back pinned on the power lines for the Haldex motor here, this wire here. It's just a 2-pin 2-wire, comes down to your motor. I started the van up to the exact same procedure I just done then, chucked the front wheels off the ground, got someone to drive it. When they started slipping, the multimeter went from 2 volts up to 3 volts, pump kicked in, back axle locked up, rear wheels started to drive. It was pushing the van along the ground while it was up on the jack, so we knew the Haldex was working. So with the engine just turned on, it only had 2 volts down to it. Once the front wheels started to spin, the multimeter went up to around 3.5 volts. This pump kicked in, plates locked up in Haldex coupler, started to drive the rear axle. This one's doing nothing. I get 0 volts all the time when the front wheels are spinning. My suspect is the control unit is giving us trouble, since we have it's not seeing the control unit on the vehicle, so I suspect that control unit. I'll just go have a look at the wires with you. So I've gone on to the VW site there, and I've been printing off the wire diagram down to the back axle motor here. Here's the plug off. Here's the wiring diagram there. Just the scrollings I made at the bottom is just where I previously looked at it. These ones here are on your 7-pin plug. That's your motor wiring up there I showed you on the other side. Just going to go through the wiring so you can see what you're looking for. Pin 7 is your ground. Pin 3 is your 12 volt supply to your control unit. 12 volts we're getting down there. When you start up, it probably got to about 14 volts. I've also, just like I normally do, I've used the ground in the circuit I'm testing, but I did put a 12 volt test light bulb on this wire here, just to make sure the current was good in the wire, in the circuit, and it lit the bulb up, so I get good current down to it as well. If you look on the back of the plug here, that's where you're going to find your numbers to correspond with the wire diagram. Okay, 2.7 on one side of the can, 2.3 on the other side of the can. I've got good can voltage up to it. On the wire diagram, pins 4 and 2 is your can high and low. That's what we just tested for the voltage. You're looking for the 2 wires on your can high and low to head up to about 5 volts for good communication voltage. Resistance of the can. 2 pins in your can line, check your resistance. 60 ohms is a good resistance on the can line. You should have 2 terminator resistance at 120 ohms. When you plug them back in, they go down to 60 ohms. If it had an open circuit, it'd be up at 120 ohms. You know you've got a break in your CAN line, or your control unit's gone down on you, the other end. Pulled this plug off here and I gave it 12 volts down to the motor. The motor fired right up and started pumping. So with all the wiring checks we've done here, and in my experience, I suspect this control unit here is the faulty one. This is a brand new control unit here. I suspect this is the fault. The wiring all looks up. So I've plugged this back in, and what I've been told is, unfortunately, by VW, this has to go into VW now to be programmed to chassis for it to work. Even with the new controller on, it's still giving us the fault code. So unfortunately, I can't go any further than this. It's going to go into VW now, be programmed to chassis, and hopefully our four-wheel drive will be working back after that. Thanks for watching.